Hello, so this is our backroom video number one for retail customers or members of the public that are looking for a bit of an insight into the motor trade. Now I know there's hundreds of videos on YouTube about Autotrader and deals and all that sort of jazz, but this specifically relates to part exchange prices. In the motor trade, part exchange prices has always been the thing that everybody has an issue with. From the retail public side, they think we're trying to nick your car, and from our side, we're just trying to pay a fair market value for the vehicle. I've been in the industry since early 2000s, and everything's changed over the years. When I first started, you used to have the two books. You used to get your books out, go out to the car, stick your finger in the air, and have a rough guess. Have a little haggle with a customer, and then off you went. Now, as a retail person, member of the public, you've got access to virtually everything that we have. So your first port of call is probably going to be good old We Buy Any Car. So you load your car up and it gives you a value. So I've loaded a car up here. All the cars I'm going to show you are all going to be on the same car. So we've got an estimated value of £9,500. You take your car down there, they do an appraisal on the vehicle. So that figure on the screen assumes that you've got two keys for the vehicle, full service history, and it needs no reconditioning. Very few cars are going to be like that. Everything needs something doing to it. So that's just your start point. Autotrader is also able to give you a part exchange valuation. And on the screen here, we can see it's 9368. So interestingly, already we've got a part exchange valuation from We Buy Any Car that's actually higher than the part exchange valuation on Autotrader. And then you have the ability to use Motorway and Car Wow. So again, same car, loaded up. So Motorway's estimated price is 10,350. So £850 more than We Buy Any Car, and nearly £1,000 more than the Autotrader part exchange valuation. So we've got some disparity in the market already. So let's just clear that up. Motorway is an auction site, exactly the same as Car Wow is. When I start clicking the buttons on here and adding in service history and condition and everything else, obviously it's going to change this price. But it is only an auction site. So they don't buy your car from you. You're just auctioning the car on there and hoping that a dealer is going to pay you a good price for your car. We buy lots of cars from Motorway and Car Wow, and we pay good prices for good cars. Some of the cars that are listed on there, and I'm going to show you an absolute classic in a minute, are not quite what they seem, and the pricing is probably a little bit out. But as a private individual, you want to sell your car, you want to part exchange your car, and you're going to do some research first. Naturally, you're going to do that. So how do you put this together? So we've got a Motorway price of 10,350, we've got a We Buy Any Car price of 9,500, and we've got a dealer part exchange price of 9,368. So if I look at the statistics there and the pricing, your average of those three is probably going to be about £9,600 if you took the Motorway start price, the We Buy Any Car start price, and the Autotrader start price. In reality, if I looked at this car on its merits, it's got two keys, it's got full service history, but it does need two wheels refurbishing and it needs some attention to the paintwork. So when you take your car to We Buy Any Car, they're going to go £100 a wheel, so that's 200 quid off. They're going to go 2 panels painting, that's 300 quid off, and they're going to probably find some stone chips and other bits and pieces. So in reality, your We Buy Any Car price is probably going to be something around £8,500, which is what it is. Take your car to a dealer to get your part exchange. Two wheels should be 150 quid for two wheels, roughly. And then if you look at the paintwork side, it depends on what it is, but most dealers can get multiple panels blended and painted in one package. But let's just say that's going to be 8,750 quid. So 8.5, 8,750, there or thereabouts the same price. So when we come to this and we load this in, let's just say that drops that down to 9,750. We're already £1,000 over the true market value of the vehicle on Motorway. On top of that, the dealer's got to pay a commission to buy off Motorway, the same as they have on Car Wow. So in reality, every dealer that's looking at that car is going to want to pay roughly what they would expect to pay in part exchange. So when you are pricing your car to look at what it's worth in the marketplace, and you do all the things I've just done there, in reality, your market price is your market price. Now, you may be lucky and achieve an exceptional price on Motorway. You may be lucky and stumble across a dealer that is desperate to buy your car for whatever reason. But generally, market price is the market price. It's never been any different, and it never will be any different. Whatever your car's worth today is what it's worth today. So when you're approaching this as a person that's looking to part exchange their car, there'll be 100 reasons why you want to part exchange your car. It's not fit for purpose anymore. It's run its course. You're bored of it. You want something faster, more economical, lower road tax, Euro 6 emissions so you can drive into London, whatever it is. None of that affects what your car's worth. That's an emotional feeling that you have attached to your car, but it doesn't affect what your car's worth. So my first piece of advice is, if you do this research first, you've got a market price for your vehicle. Now, some dealers will have different pricing strategies and different pricing markets, etc., but generally, when you take your car to a dealer, if it was this car here, you should expect to get something between £8,500 and £9,000 in part exchange for your car. If that doesn't suit you, because the cars you are looking at are £16,000 and you only have £3,000 to spend, then the dealer can't move the price of your car up to suit your budget. And unfortunately, the stark reality of that is that you need to bring your budget down. So if you have £3,000 plus the price of this car, you need to be looking at cars that are around £12,500 to £13,000, because that's the money you have available to buy that car. Again, the dealer's not doing any of this stuff to upset you. They are desperate to sell cars and they want to sell as many cars as possible every single day. They can't change the market price for your car. Now, what some people will do is try and sell their car privately, which is fantastic. Crack on and do that. However, I am going to show you, and again, this is the same A-Class again. I've loaded it up on the screen. So this is exactly the car, A250 AMG. This particular car that we've priced earlier has a premium pack, an exclusive pack and other bits and pieces, but I've got a great example to show you here. So we have a beautiful car at Aylesbury Trade Centre. Hello Aylesbury Trade Centre if you're watching this video. Car looks fantastic. It is a great example in mountain grey, I think that colour is, with nice bits and pieces on it. And it's a one owner car with good history, fantastic pictures, car looks all good, etc. Obviously, pictures can be edited and changed, but on the face of it, this car at Aylesbury Trade Centre looks like a really good car to buy. They've got great reviews, etc. So it looks like a great dealer as well. I don't know anybody there, by the way, so this is not an advert for them. But if I just go back, so then we have two cars up in terms of pricing, a car from a private individual. So Mr. Private Individual, Mrs. Private Individual, Miss Private Individual, whatever you are. This car you have advertised looks really nice. Exactly the same car, except that your car has 5 previous owners and you're selling privately. So no backup, no warranty, no nothing at all. And the expectation in terms of pricing is that I can walk into Aylesbury Trade Centre today, buy their car with a warranty, with the dealer backup, with consumer rights and everything else for $12,594, one owner, prepped, ready to go. Yes, it's done 89,000 miles, so there is a mileage difference, but that's not a high mileage car at all. Or I can go to a private individual and buy a car that's had 5 previous owners with no backup, no warranty, nothing at all, for £500 more. Now, realistically, I don't think, unless you're desperate for a black car with silver wheels, the value proposition in the private individual's car matches the car we've just looked at Aylesbury Car Centre, or Aylesbury Trade Centre. So Aylesbury Trade Centre's car is a good price according to Autotrader pricing, and it looks like a fantastic vehicle. The private car should be between £1,300 and £2,000 less than that vehicle, because no warranty and all the other bits and pieces that I've said. So when you're pricing your car to sell it privately, you have to look at the market and you have to be realistic in the marketplace that you're not going to compete with a dealer price. You certainly can't be over a dealer price, and you're not going to compete with a dealer price. No matter how good your car is, it's never going to be the same price as a dealer's car is, because naturally people will gravitate towards a dealer's car, especially when you're talking about cars plus £4,000 in price. If we then go back to our pricing for 1 second, and I was offered this car in part exchange, this lovely gentleman's got, or lady, or Mrs, whatever, has got this car advertised for £12,995. Their expectation is probably going to be that the part exchange price is going to be something around £11,500, because they've got the car advertised at £13,000. But it doesn't change the value. None of this changes the value at all. The value of that car is still £9,000 and a bit, is still £9,000 and a bit less reconditioning. Even on motorway, is still 10,350 less conditioning. So realistically, why would a dealer take that car in part exchange for anything more than they can buy a car in the marketplace for? Or why is a private individual, another private individual, so private individual to private individual, going to pay more than a dealer price for that car? So realistically, you've got all your pricing available, you've got all your market conditions available, and you know what your car's worth. When you go to a dealer to part exchange that car, if you're realistic about your part exchange price, two things are going to happen immediately. The dealer is going to be much more welcoming towards the actual deal itself, and it will all happen a lot faster. So if you see, and if I just go back to my Autotrader screen, if we were looking at buying this lovely mountain grey A250 from Aylesbury Trade Centre, and by the way, Aylesbury Trade Centre, if you watch this video, you owe me a Christmas card, and you were part exchanging your car with them, if I picked up the phone and phoned them right now and said, I've got a Ford Fiesta to part exchange, I've done all my research, and I know that my market price for my vehicle as a part exchange is £3,000, they check it, and it is about £3,000, whoever is taking that inquiry, whether it's the manager or a salesperson, is going to go, yeah, this guy is in the market to buy the car. You know your budget fits, and they know that effectively it's deal on. They want to sell you the car, you want to buy the car. Makes that process really easy. If I phone them up and say, I want £6,000 for my car, based on nothing at all really, just what I want for my car, and it's worth £3,000, immediately that inquiry's hit a roadblock and you're not going to buy that car. Guaranteed you're not going to buy that car. So as a private individual, you're then annoyed and upset and emotional because that dealer can't match your expectations of your part exchange price. So you then think, oh, Aylesbury Trade Centre are trying to take my car cheap. So then we go to, where should we go? We'll go to Stoneacre, who've got a beautiful red Mercedes for sale, which is, again, very similar car. It's more expensive because it's done lower mileage. And we phone them and go, hello, Mr. Stoneacre, I'm interested in your car. And the person on the other end of the phone goes, great, have you got a part exchange? Yes, I have. I've got a Ford Fiesta. I want £6,000 for it. And they turn around and say to you, we can't get anywhere near that figure. Your car's worth £3,000. At that point, your car is definitely worth £3,000. It will have already been worth £3,000 from doing your market research on We Buy Any Car, Autotrader, Motorway, Car Wow, wherever else. It's going to be worth £3,000. So 2 dealers have told you already that your car's not worth that money. And I'm really sorry if this upsets people, but the market price of your vehicle is going to dictate everything else. It's going to dictate your own budget. It's going to dictate everything. So if 2 dealers have told you that already, your car's worth £3,000. If Motorway, Car Wow, We Buy Any Car and Autotrader tell you your car's worth £3,000, it's worth £3,000. And then of course you go through the appraisal process, and if it's a £3,000 Fiesta, it's going to need some work doing on it. But most dealers will look at that and go, actually, car's 8 years old, done 90,000 miles. It doesn't need to be as highly reconditioned as a 2016 66 plate bright red Mercedes A250. The flip side of this is that dealers will make money out of part exchanges. Naturally, that's the best route for them to get good quality part exchanges in. And when you go to Motorway and you advertise your car on Motorway as a private individual, the dealer has the pleasure of paying a commission to buy that car, same as they do on Car Wow. So if they can get that car coming directly to them as a part exchange, it means that they're saving that commission and the travelling costs that go with that. We buy cars from Motorway and We Buy Any Car from all over the country and absorb the buying costs of that into the transaction, because some of the cars that are on there are really great examples. The sellers do a fantastic job of advertising the car and it all works very well. So we've got our valuation, we've got an idea of the market price, and we've identified a car we want to buy. So we're going to go to Stoneacres and we're going to take our car to part exchange it there. You then turn up with your part exchange and it's got McDonald's wrappers in it. You haven't brought any of your service history, none of your documents, you don't know where your spare key is, and you haven't done anything at all to make that car look the best it can look. Your part exchange price is blown out of the water straight away, because you haven't presented the car in the best way possible. You don't know where any of your documents are. You don't know where your service history is. So that car's now worth half its value. Because from a dealer's point of view, there's nothing to go on there at all. And then the reconditioning and everything else, it's just not presenting the car in the right way. So if you're trying to get the most amount of money for your car possible, get it cleaned, find your service history, find your spare key, get everything there. My favourite saying, get your ducks in a row. So when you go to the dealer, everything's there and it shows a level of interest in that car. Dealers that are watching this will agree with me. If somebody turns up with a part exchange and they've got all their documents ready, they've brought their spare keys and everything else, it is a sign that they are prepared and want to do a deal. You're not giving yourself up as a private individual by doing that. You're just showing that you are interested in buying a car. The flip side of that a lot of private people think is that if I don't give anybody any figures at all and I just say I don't know what I want for my part exchange, or I've got no idea, or I haven't looked, or whatever else, the dealer's going to magically go, your £3,000 Fiesta's worth £8,000. I don't know in what world that would happen, but it doesn't ever happen. What happens is they just do exactly what I've done there and they give you the market price for the car and you go, oh, I was expecting £6,000 for my car. So you did know, you just didn't think that it was a good idea to tell anybody. And then of course the whole deal's blown because, as I said earlier, you've got £10,000 to spend plus your car on this lovely red Mercedes, and it doesn't work now because your car's worth £3,000. So you're going backwards and starting the whole process again. With all this information available to you, pricing your part exchange and getting an idea of what it's worth should be the easiest thing in the world to do. Every dealer that's watching this video will agree with me that if a customer is realistic about their part exchange, then they will categorically want to do that deal because they know that the customer is prepared. And I've said it lots of times in this video already, but when you're pricing your part exchange, please be realistic and understand that a 7-year-old Mercedes needs to have proper service history and be prepared properly for it to be able to sell quickly, but also as a part exchange it needs to reflect that as well. When you're looking at a commercial entity of profit and everything else, that does come into it because every dealer needs to make a profit on the car, but the market value dictates the starting point of that. And if I go back to Autotrader, we've got a part exchange valuation here of 9,368 and we've got a retail price of 12,152. So effectively, in round figures, there's a £3,000 margin spread in that vehicle. Yep, £3,000. That's not what a dealer gets. That's the spread margin on the vehicle. I'm not going to get into profits. I'm not going to get into any of that at all. But what I will say is that you can never begrudge a dealer from making money out of your part exchange because that's their business. And if you harbour resentment for that, then I would say whatever business you're in, unless you work for a charity, and even then it's probably the same, are you in that business to not make any money? Because if you are, fair play, but I don't know many people that go to work to not earn money. That's all a dealer's trying to do, is earn some money. Whether you feel that's fair or not is beside the point. It still doesn't change the market value of your vehicle. So in summary, get your bits and pieces sorted out, speak to the dealer, be honest, be upfront, understand the market, and you will get on much, much better in terms of trying to structure a deal, because it is the number one thing in my time in the industry that has always become problem after problem after problem. Unrealistic expectations in terms of part exchange value, for whatever reason, leads to disgruntled customers, disgruntled salespeople, and deals just not happening because it's all in the wrong place. Hope you enjoyed watching the video. There's more to come. I've got another video coming on Autotrader, and we've got videos coming on preparation and costings and all sorts of bits and pieces, all dealer insights, just to hope to give the general public a much better idea of how a dealer works. We are a small dealer, been in the industry a long time, but we are a small player. If I go back to Stoneacre, fantastic motor group, they sell a lot more cars than we do, but the principles will always remain the same. Questions, comments, anything at all, pop them below, and I'll see you in the next video.